Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to continue the conversation from the previous video around the stages of grief that you may face in divorce. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go back and check it out. I'll link it in the description below. The contents of this YouTube is based around Laura Scott's novel, The Accidental Divorcee. I'll also put a link in the description below so that way you can get a copy for yourself on Amazon. I personally like to highlight tab. It's just have something tangible in my hand to refer back to. So if you like that too, then you should definitely get a copy. But also please be sure to like, engage, subscribe to this channel because it really does help us out. You will speculate about how things could have been different, the why nots. This is perfectly normal and a part of separation and divorce process. It's not unusual to be haunted by the fears that you could have done something different or better, something that could have saved your marriage. It's normal to do some soul searching and to try to figure out what could have happened, to dissect every different angle of the relationship. Divorce presents so many reasons to be hard on yourself. If only I hadn't gained weight, or if only I had made more money, or had been a better parent, or better in bed, or had been more of what my partner needed. One approach is to get out a blank piece of paper and to make a list of your why nots, or what you think you might have done to create the situation and to contribute to those challenges you and your partner experienced. It's a great way to work through your thoughts and perhaps learn something about yourself. And if you're lucky, and I know that's a loaded statement right now, but you might begin to leave some of your concerns behind on the paper. There are two ways that people block grieving. They either tackle it or they emotionally distance themselves from the parts of their lives, which stops the grieving process. One thing is for certain, you cannot ignore grief. It will not go away. Even if it's hard, make the commitment to open up. It may hurt intensely, but you will heal faster if you accept your feelings. If you see your ex or you're thinking about them, allow your mind to linger on it rather than just shutting it off like a tap water and just getting so distracted from everyone and everything that you no longer feel anything at all. It's okay to feel something for them. Allowing yourself to process those feelings will help you heal the grief. One thing my therapist recommended to me that I found helpful is to put tangible items that remind you of that time in your life, the partner you remember, or anything you have feelings towards into this box. It could be a wooden box or it could be a fancy one. Start to put those items in this box. It could be as simple as a napkin from your wedding or a picture from a vacation that you took. When you find yourself in moments of grief, give yourself permission to revisit this box. Take it down from the closet, open it up, and hold the items in your hand. Give these items space, validates your essence of your heart. Set a timer for 2 to 5 minutes, bawl your eyes out, hold the item, just simply sit with it until that timer goes off. Put those items back in the box, close it, store it safely back on your shelf in your closet. And remember, the box will always be there for you when you revisit it, whenever you need it. And slowly, you'll find yourself revisiting that box less and less until one day you don't associate so much powerful emotions towards it anymore. And lastly, don't let anybody convince you that it's time to get rid of this box. You can't move on from any other relationship unless you throw it away. Only you get to decide this and how long you get to keep it. Holding onto the box does not mean that you are not moving forward. It does not mean that you are not healing. It does not hinder you from having a successful relationship in the future. Although you might try, you cannot will yourself to be better. Here's an example from Roger. Roger owns an appliance repair store. He is 45, divorced, and shares custody of his 2 daughters with his ex-wife. Roger is well-liked, bright, and can quickly diagnose problems for his customers. He has dated but hasn't hit it off with anyone, and his friends or family suggest to him that he might miss his wife. He protests, "Hey, it's over. Why does everyone ask me about it? She asked me for a divorce. I moved out the next day. Who cares? Stop talking about it. I don't want to think about it. I refuse to think about it." Roger is an active participant in emotional boot camp. Emotional boot camp is like a liquid bandage. It stops the pain immediately. Some people who are divorcing go through the point where enough is enough and it's time to just simply move on. They make a decision to get over the failed relationship and to not allow themselves to engage in the grieving process. They shut out the thoughts of their ex-partner. Life is a boot camp and they are going to survive no matter what. But the problem with this approach is that it's practically impossible to will away a part of your life that was your marriage. If and the instinct to be really tough on yourself takes over, just realize that it can work against you in the long run when it comes to healing. Trying to pretend otherwise can work against you. It's best to mourn the loss and allow yourself to process the feelings that surface, because you cannot just skip over it. The grief will stay with you and it needs to be allowed to come out. And if you find yourself cutting off any of the feelings of grief, consider seeing a counselor or enrolling in a divorce recovery class to find out how you are really truly feeling. It's important to have a safe space to work through the grief. Understanding how grief works can also block emotional progress. This statement may seem strange, but it's true. Hear me out. Grief works backwards. If you go back in time, allow yourself to remember your spouse, things that they said, how good they smelled or made you feel at some points in time, some of the good times that you had together and shared. It will help you move on. In measured doses, revisiting the past, looking at wedding photos and pictures of family, for example, can evoke strong emotions that can help you heal. Grieving is one of the most important things that you can give yourself during this time, but it doesn't use a stopwatch. Take the time to really experience what happened to you, and what you lost is the best ointment for a broken heart. It will hurt to think about the way things were, and it takes a lot of courage to do it, but it's a solid path to getting on with your life. Remember to be gentle with yourself, and when you want to just get over it or move on, give yourself time to go through the manifested process of mourning and loss of love. It really does work if you go backwards to remember and embrace who you were and what you have lost. If you find this content helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to our channel for more valuable insights and support during this difficult time. Let us know your experiences or any other topics you'd like to cover in the comment section below. Remember, healing is a journey, and together we can navigate it with strength and resilience. In the next video, we're going to dive into chapter 3, which focuses on your swimming pool. Who you surround yourself is vital. Don't miss it.